They'll let you?
Kind of. You just have to like walk. You got to like walk in like
you know what you're doing.
Like you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
And then it's like right over to the right.
There you go.
Yeah.
So I can tell you my experience with the Hawthorne Hotel is that they have one of the best brunch buffets I've ever had, or at least they used to. We went on Mother's Day one year. There was like an entire room dedicated to dessert.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I like that.
Me too. It was great. But so they've been on TV. They've had lots of celebrities. They book like way in advance for October, like way in advance. So it's a pretty cool place. I've been in there myself. I used to be a nanny, and I used to do gigs there for like weddings. Like I would hang out in the room while they went down for the wedding or whatever. And
nice.
I never experienced anything in the times that I've done that. But so the stories that people say, it was originally built in 1925, and it was named after the author of the book The House of Seven Gables and The Scarlet Letter, Nathaniel Hawthorne.
Yeah.
Who, is a pretty local.
Yeah. BFD.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
He's a BFD.
And the House of Seven Gables is even supposedly haunted. Like there is an actual, his birthplace and his house that he lived in. They call it the House of Seven Gables after his book. And that is supposedly haunted too. So you should check that out sometime. I've seen stuff there myself.
Really?
Yes.
What have you seen?
Little girl.
Ooh, creepy.
Yeah. Yeah, it was creepy. But so this place was built in 1925, and the land there was originally owned by Salem Maritime. So their agreement in order to be able to build the hotel there, like in order to sell them the land, was that they had to have a meeting room where they could have their meetings. And that room now is supposedly haunted by none other than the maritime captains.
Nice.
Of course. And there is a ship's wheel that's hanging up in there that will move on its own.
Cool.
And there's this story online that I saw. A staff was sent in there to set up the room. I think it was for a meeting, but was sent in there to get the room all ready. And he worked for a while and got it all set up, and then left the room for like 30 seconds to go get something, and said that he came back in and it was all completely undone the way that it had been before.
Oh, wow.
And this person apparently will no longer work the night shift.
Oh, wow.
As of the, whatever I saw was written, he still worked there, but would not refuse night shift duty. I probably would too.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. And, I've heard that the staff say that like the lobby furniture will move. They'll turn around and the furniture will be in like a different spot.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's creepy.
So the first floor, different sections of the first floor are supposedly haunted by these like sea captains. And I think, that's where they used to meet and they used to drink and they used to chat and have meetings. And so they still just do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why not? Right. But then there are two rooms that legend has it are pretty haunted. So the sixth floor in general, I hear that people have seen a female ghost wearing like a long white dress, just wandering up and down the hallways.
Lady in White action.
Yeah. Right.
There you go.
And room 612 in particular, they say that the lights and the faucets will turn on and off on their own. Guests have reported like extreme cold all of a sudden, which I totally believe because even when I do a reading, I feel that sometimes.
Yeah.
And people have complained about someone touching them in their sleep.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's creepy.
I
would not like that.
No.
But I guess the biggest suspicion is the smell of apples that people get. I guess that room has a really, really strong smell of apples. And they think that it means that the ghost that haunts the room is Bridget Bishop, who was the very first person that was executed in the witch trials.
Ooh, interesting.
Mm-hmm. And because apparently that used to be her land, which was, guess what? An apple orchard.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, then that would make a lot of sense.
Yeah. But what I want to know is why room 612? Like it wasn't built when it was an apple orchard. It was an apple orchard. Why would she choose to haunt this one room? But maybe she's the lady in white, just in general.
Maybe it was like a really big tree and she used to like climb up that tree.
Maybe there was something there in that spot.
Yeah, because like how at that time period, how would they have gotten up that high?
I don't know.
Yeah, that doesn't make any
I don't know. A big tree. That's a big
right. That's what
tree.
I'm thinking. I'm like, wow, that's yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. That's just the theory. Probably just because people say they have smelled apples. But I guess it used to be her property before Salem Maritime owned it. Before she was murdered.
Yeah. Ugh.
For nothing.
Maybe someone was like mucking around with a Ouija board in that room.
Maybe.
Could have been
Stirred
something
her
like
up.
that.
Yeah.
Stirred someone up. and then did something they didn't know what they were doing.
Yeah. And honestly, if you think about it, just Salem in general has so much history, even beyond the witch trials. You know, it's one of the oldest cities that there is. Mm-hmm. And like it was built as a trading port.
Yeah.
So tons of people came in and out there, which means you know that there was a lot of death by like violence or crime or even just illness because they didn't have the medical care back then that we do now. So I'm sure there's been a lot of death either in the building or on the property or surrounding it, you know.
For sure.
So the other room that they say has some haunted behavior to it is room 325. And so people have reported similar stuff there with like the faucets turning off and on and people touching them and extreme cold. But the difference in this room is that people talk about babies, either seeing apparitions of babies or toddlers. And the creepiest one is several people have reported being woken up by the sound of a baby screaming.
I hate that.
It's terrifying.
I hate that. I obviously read a lot of ghost stories.
Yeah.
And the idea of seeing like a ghost toddler coming at me.
Oh my God, I know.
That's like the scariest I've ever heard.
All I'm picturing is Pet Cemetery.
It's
have you seen that?
Mortifying.
Like, I'm going to play with you, mommy.
No,
like ooh.
No, thank you.
So creepy. My whole life I've had, when I was a kid, it was like an adult man that calls my name, like, Jamie. I think I told you that last time. But since I've had kids, I have a child that calls mama.
I don't like that.
No, it freaks me out. I go running every single time. My husband's like, it's the ghost. It's not the baby. They're asleep.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
He always knows when I'm like, did you hear that? Are the kids? Can you press mute? Pause it. Pause the movie. He'll be like, it's not the kids.
It's just your ghost.
Yeah. It's just your ghost again.
Babe, it's just the ghost. Chill out.
Yeah. So, the place has been investigated by like a few different paranormal investigators. So ghost hunters went to the Hawthorne Hotel.
Okay.
And they couldn't find any evidence like to film. They didn't catch any on film, but, their assessment of it was not that it's not haunted. It was that the ghost just didn't want to perform for camera.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. That was their opinion on it. So,
yeah. It's probably a pretty lame episode, but.
I know, right? But they said, I guess from what I read, they said that happens a lot. Like the ghost just won't perk up when you're there trying to investigate.
I mean, that's if we all got ghosts every time we took out our phones, then.
Right, right, exactly.
These shows would be a lot different.
Yes.
A lot more specific.
But I want to go. I want to check it out.
Yeah. Hey, if you ever want to go,
let's do it.
Do you think they have like, I mean, how expensive is it? You think they'll have like a Groupon?
Oh, I bet they have Groupons. If you go off season.
That's what I mean.
It can't be that bad.
That's what I'm saying. Like, who's staying at the Hawthorne Hotel in March?
Right. And is it like the Hawthorne Hotel hosts events and things as well? So as long as you don't do it like at a time that there's like a big fair or something, you know?
You need like February on a Tuesday.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
That'd be really cheap.
I bet it would be. But we got to try and get in either 315 or 612. No, 325 or 612.
Yeah, we can do it. We can pull that off.
Okay.
We'll get into that room. Next week we have someone on the show from Salem.
Oh, really?
Oh my gosh, I totally forgot. We forgot to wish the listeners happy Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah.
Happy Thanksgiving. I should have said that at the beginning of the show.
It really snuck up on me.
I know. This episode comes out the night before Thanksgiving.
I stopped at the store today and the guy that was bagging my groceries said, "Where's your turkey?" And I was like, oh boy, I don't know. This is a problem.
Every single year, I have a tiny apartment, I don't host, but I like to cook and I always go the night before Thanksgiving. And every year I'm like, I can't believe how many people are here. Like, why would other people wait? And I'm like, Amelia, why do you wait?
Right.
Like, okay. Anything else?
No, that's all I've got on the Hawthorne Hotel.
Cool. I like that. That's a cool hotel.
Yeah. And it's beautiful too.
It's gorgeous.
Like
it's really nice. And the inside of it's really nice.
Yeah. They try to keep it like, historic and like classy.
Yeah, it is classy.
Yeah.
It's not that, well, that's a good point. It's not like, I feel like a lot of places that try to keep things like historic or like with period pieces in it, like it's like creepy.
Yeah.
But this isn't like creepy, dingy, like
it's lovely.
It's beautiful. It's really very, very nice.
Yeah. And it doesn't, in the times I've been in there, it doesn't have like a creepy, scary vibe. It's like nice and pretty and like light colored walls. It's not like you don't walk in and feel creeped out.
No, it's beautiful. Until like you're asleep and all of a sudden like a ghost toddler
Yeah, a
comes
toddler's
running
crying at you.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, well.
All right. So for the next haunted hotel, I have Yankee Pedlar Inn. The Yankee Pedlar Inn is a historic hotel located in Torrington, Connecticut. The inn, which now has 52 rooms, was built for its original owners, Frank and Alice Conley, in 1891. It was originally given a colonial New England architectural style. So it all started when Irishman Frank Conley married his wife, Alice, who was from New England. And in November 1980, they bought the land, and it was only 100 by 214 square feet on the corner lot of Main Street and Maiden Lane for $8,000.
Oh my God.
I know.
Can you
right?
imagine being able to buy a full? Well, I guess it was just a lot. That's not that. Never mind. Scratch that.
No, it's honestly, it's still a pretty good price because I was looking at purchasing some land in like middle of nowhere this summer.
Yeah.
And like $8,000 for like a half acre in middle of frickin' nowhere is like still a really good deal.
Yeah.
It was a really good deal. Luckily, a lot of people talked me out of that very bad investment. I realized to make. I was like, no, I'm just going to buy like a half acre. I'm just going to have like a hammock and that's just where I'm going to go. And everyone was like, what is wrong with you?
I want a little like an Airstream or like a tiny house on like a big plot of land.
Yes.
A place I can go where everyone leaves me alone.
That is all I wanted.
I'm with you on
That's
that dream.
all I wanted. And
Yeah.
people were like, Amelia, just go camping. Like,
I guess.
gosh, act like an adult. All right. Back to the story. The couple used $40,000 to open the hotel. Alice was the manager while Frank worked as the hotel's operator. The Conley Inn opened its doors July 1891, and as the proprietors had hoped, it soon became one of the finest and most successful destinations in the region, and remained so until the couple passed away in 1910. That I found interesting. I couldn't figure out how this couple passed away.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask.
But
What did they die of?
I don't know.
They both died.
Apparently, I saw it on everywhere said they died in 1910. Nowhere gave any description. No one said one passed before the other. It just said they passed away in 1910, and then it was taken over by their niece.
Interesting.
Very interesting. And it was run into the family business for a very long time. So it stayed with the Connollys until March 1st, 1956. And then that's when it became the Yankee Pedlar Inn. It got that name. And it was combined with a restaurant called Boogie's.
Okay.
Silly name. So over the decades, there have been various stories about all the mysterious figures and random odd voices going on inside the hotel. One popular story is of the spirit of its founder, Alice Conley, rumored to have died in room 353. I don't know why I just said it like that. Also known as 353. Still roams the halls of her dream hotel, checking on guests to make sure that their stays are pleasant. Apparitions and strange smells have been reported in room 353, and Alice's favorite rocking chair in the hotel lobby has also been witnessed to rock on its own.
Oh.
Classic.
I grew up with a ghost in my attic, and like the rocking chair that he used would keep me up every night. So that just gave me
so
like
creepy.
chills. Also, I want to know more about these strange smells because that's very broad.
It's so vague. It's so vague. Yes. And like also they just, like apparently she died in this room in the hotel. Again, like why does no one have any details on these deaths? That's kind of weird, right?
It is kind of weird.
Like 1910, yeah, it's a long time ago, but like is it really for like the people who owned one of the most prominent destinations?
Right.
That would have made a paper.
Somebody had to have written it down somewhere.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's creepy. Okay, so room 295 has also reportedly been a location with unusual activity, including weird smells. Yes. And
It freaks me out.
it's not going to freak you out as much as this next one. People often feel invisible forces getting into bed with them.
Oh, there it is again.
Yes.
No, that's not allowed.
Snuggling on up.
No way.
And they often see the spirit of a woman just kind of hanging out in the room.
Yeah, just floating on by.
Hanging out.
She's just making sure you're enjoying your stay.
Just waiting for that breakfast. Okay, there's also the ghost of a gray-haired gentleman in a black suit. who hangs out in the hall.